Ethan sat alone in the quiet cafe, his hands wrapped around a cup of coffee that had long since gone cold. The lively chatter of others around him was a distant hum, overshadowed by the words looping endlessly in his mind. "When can I see you again?" It had been months since the breakup, but the ache in his chest hadn't faded. Every day he woke up hoping for a miracle, a chance to rewrite the ending of their story. Alyssa had been his everything, a light in his life that now felt irreparably dimmed. He replayed their last conversation over and over, searching for the moment it had all unraveled. Her words, though softly spoken, had struck with the weight of 1,000 bricks. "We've grown apart, Ethan. I need to figure out who I am without us." Ethan didn't know how to get over it, as well-meaning friends advised. He couldn't imagine a future without her laughter, her touch, her presence. Nights were the hardest. Lying in bed, he stared at the ceiling, haunted by memories of shared whispers and dreams for a someday that now felt impossibly out of reach. One evening, desperate for closure, Ethan found himself typing out a message he'd started and erased 100 times before. "Alyssa, I just need to know, when can I see you again?" But he never hit send. Instead, he closed his laptop and buried his face in his hands, a fresh wave of tears overtaking him. Weeks passed, and Ethan threw himself into distractions, work, hobbies, even dating apps. But nothing filled the void. Every new connection felt hollow, as if his heart were stuck in limbo, unwilling to let go of what once was. One day, while walking through the park they used to frequent, Ethan spotted a familiar figure sitting on their favorite bench. His breath caught. It was Alyssa, her face tilted toward the sun, eyes closed as if savoring the warmth. For a moment, he froze, unsure of whether to approach. Then, as if sensing his presence, she opened her eyes and met his gaze. Her expression softened, and she offered a tentative smile. "Ethan," she said, when he finally worked up the courage to sit beside her. "Alyssa," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. They talked for hours, revisiting memories and sharing the paths their lives had taken since parting ways. It wasn't the dramatic reconciliation Ethan had once dreamed of, but it was something, a moment of connection that reminded him why he had loved her in the first place. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Alyssa stood to leave. "Take care of yourself, Ethan," she said, her voice kind but firm. "You'll find your someday." Watching her walk away, Ethan felt a strange mix of emotions. The pain was still there, but so was a sense of release. For the first time, he realized that healing wasn't about forgetting or replacing what they had. It was about finding the strength to breathe again, to let his heart beat for himself. In the days that followed, Ethan began to rebuild. Slowly but surely, he rediscovered pieces of himself that had been buried beneath the weight of loss. And though he didn't know what the future held, he held on to hope that someday, when his heart was ready, he'd find a love that made it beat with joy once more. Until then, he whispered to himself, "When can I see you again?" Not as a plea to the past, but as an invitation to the possibilities ahead. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more family adventures. See you next time.